Hey there everybody, I'm Gears of the Dead, and I'm finally talking about a manga. Is it good? Is it bad? It's probably the latter. Let's talk manga.
Let's talk manga.
Okay, so if you guys didn't know, I am a huge fan of JRPGs. They're just really fun to me. I really get into them. And the Persona series is my favorite game series of all time. But I'm not talking about the Persona manga. I'm talking about another game that's had a huge impact on me. I mean, I love it almost as much as Persona. I mean, not as much. I mean, if I was to be realistic, there's a huge gap. But, again, it did have a huge impact on me. So I'm looking on the manga series based off the video game, The World Ends With You. So, you know, let's just see how it is. So what happened in the making of this manga? I mean, I've read some loosely based manga based off of video games, and I mean, I've read .hack XXXXXXX. But what happened? I mean, it's only 2 chapters, and when they finish it off, they make you think there's more. There's going to be more making, and there's a huge time skip that comes out of nowhere where a lot of stuff happens. A lot of, like, you need this story to know stuff. And the characters act totally different than they do in the game, and I just... and it doesn't even, like, they don't... let's just look over what happened in this, alright? Let's just
Okay, so number 1, the characters. Why are they so different? Especially the main character, Neku. In the game, he was a mean, broody, and lonely type guy. He would always try to pull away from people, including his new partner, Shiki. He would call her names, and altogether, he was a very hard-headed guy. In the manga, though, he has this new silly side, which normally isn't bad, but good god, the way they did it changed his whole character traits. And I get it, in manga there are tropes that a lot of the time you want or need to add, but this is too far. There's maybe one part where he looks serious, and then the rest of him is just going with the flow and dressing up in crazy outfits. And if you've never played the game, you'd have no idea why he's doing that. In the game, you get bonuses in battle for wearing what's stylish in the area you're in, but they left that out. So yeah, it's just Neku dressing up as a woman just cuz. It's f***ing grand! Alright, now on to number 2, the story. Again, I have read manga based off of video games that were crazy loosely based and just off and get that away! Get it away from me! Gross. But this, this, it takes the cake on a log on the hole in the bottom of the sea, alright? It starts off the same as the game, but then it freaks out like a kindergarten play where the kids forget their lines and start to make them up as they go. They meet up normally, but Neku agrees too easily to become the partner. And how does she know his name? I mean, he never told her his name. So she just comes in like, oh, hey Neku, how are you doing? Yeah, I've been following you for weeks. That's how I know your name, LOL BBQ. Fuck! Also, for some weird reason, they thought the villains weren't funny enough. So the big boss, the head guy, the boss I loved because he was intimidating to no end. I mean, he knew what he was doing. He knew what everyone and everything was going to do. It was his game. But no, they thought that he needed a dark past where he was picked on as a kid for having a girly name. Then they got to the point where they hit the wall before the place they need to go. And again, they just need to add that humor with a flat-faced, fully pinned up, and burnt up Neku. And that's only chapter 1! That's only chapter 1! Chapter 2? Well, that's so... how do I explain it? It's like Murray from the new Sly Cooper game.
It ain't right.
They introduced 2 awesome characters, Beat and Rhyme, but for no good reason. And again, not like how the game introduced them. It's just like some gross attempt at turning something awesome like The World Ends With You into something better, but failing totally hardcore. but at least I learned that the Reaper dude that's sucking on bean paste instead of a lollipop, I found that interesting. Very, very interesting. And finally, number 3, the length and my conclusion. It's not really a big thing, honestly, but seriously, they could have had a huge thing going with making a full manga version of The World Ends With You. Like, I know me and a lot of people out there would go and buy this. So, why only 2 chapters? And not even a huge book series. I mean, it could have been. Even if it went in the direction that it did, people would have bought it. And if they put a lot more time and effort into it, they could put all the stuff from the game in, and it would be so good. I mean, just look at the manga series for Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days. It has multiple books, and it's so good. I mean, what went wrong? They're both made by the same company, and they know that the love for the series is there. They made a remix version of the game for the iPhone, and the recently released version for Android. So, they know people love this series, but you know what, I'm done complaining. I'm done complaining about all this. I'm just gonna go back and play the original game and try to forget all of this and wait for The World Ends With You 2 to be announced. Because, you know, it's gonna be announced, right? Right? Hey guys, thanks for watching, I really appreciate it. If you want to, watch another video, I would suggest clicking on the area where it says check this out, because, that's video, and that's my last video where I talk about anime trailers and if they're worth watching. Just a hint, the video is worth watching, alright? If you want to subscribe, just click on the cartoon me. If you want to check out my channel, click on my old logo, which is, the skull and the gear. And if you want to go to my gaming channel where me and my friend Guitarist play games and do videos about games, it's really cool, check out Gears of the Guitarist by clicking on that. But yeah, thanks a lot guys for watching. I really, it means a lot. So yeah, I'll see you guys hopefully in the next video. You guys have a great one. Thanks.